And for the first time, your life starts moving in a clear direction. Not perfectly, not instantly, but consistently. And that's where something unexpected happens. You start feeling a sense of freedom. Not the kind of freedom most people chase, the freedom to do whatever you feel like doing, but a deeper, more powerful kind. The freedom from chaos, the freedom from excuses, the freedom from inconsistency, the freedom from being controlled by your own impulses. You realize that discipline was never the thing restricting you. It was the thing holding everything together. It gave you structure when your life had none. It gave you clarity when your mind was noisy. It gave you strength when you felt weak. And most importantly, it gave you control. And once you experience that level of control, you understand something most people never fully realize. Discipline is not something you use temporarily. It's something you become. Because without it, everything falls apart. But with it, everything starts to align. Your actions match your goals. Your time reflects your priorities. Your life becomes intentional. And once you reach that point, going back is no longer an option. Because now you've seen the difference. You've felt the contrast. You've experienced what it's like to move forward with clarity instead of confusion. And that changes you. Permanently. You wake up with no plan, no structure, no urgency. The alarm goes off, you hit snooze, and when you finally get up, the day already feels like it slipped away from you. There's no clear direction, no defined goal pulling you forward. Just another day to figure things out later. At first, it doesn't seem like a big problem. You tell yourself you'll get serious soon, that you just need the right moment, the right mood, the right burst of motivation. But days turn into weeks, and weeks quietly become months, and nothing really changes. Eventually, you start noticing the pattern. Same habits, same distractions, same excuses, same results. It becomes impossible to ignore. You look at your life and realize you're stuck in a loop. That's when your brain steps in, not to fix the problem, but to protect your comfort. It starts building excuses, fast and effortlessly. I'm tired. I deserve a break. I'll start tomorrow. And the dangerous part is, those excuses sound reasonable. They feel justified. So you believe them. You begin to operate based on how you feel instead of what needs to be done. If you feel motivated, you act. If you don't, you wait. But feelings are unstable. They change constantly. And when your actions depend on something unstable, your life becomes inconsistent. So you start things and then stop. You make plans and abandon them. You get inspired and lose momentum just as quickly. It becomes a cycle of starting over again and again without ever building anything solid. And then comes the moment most people try to avoid, the realization. The uncomfortable truth that you're not stuck because life is unfair. You're stuck because you haven't been consistent, because you've been choosing comfort over progress. That realization hits hard. It creates pressure, frustration, even a bit of anger. But it also creates something else, a decision point. Because change doesn't start with motivation. It doesn't start with inspiration. It starts with a decision. A simple, firm decision that things will not continue the way they are. You decide that from now on, you will do what you said you would do. Not when you feel like it. Not when it's easy. But especially when it's difficult. Especially when you don't feel like it. That's where discipline begins. And the moment you try to act on that decision, you feel resistance. Strong resistance. Your mind pushes back. It looks for shortcuts, distractions, anything to pull you away from effort. Suddenly, everything feels harder than it should. Simple tasks feel heavy. Focus becomes difficult. Your brain starts negotiating again, trying to bring you back to comfort. But this time, something is different. You recognize it. You see the pattern. And instead of obeying it, you act anyway. That's a critical shift. Because discipline is not about removing resistance. It's about acting despite it. You begin small. One task. One action. One commitment followed through. It doesn't look impressive. It doesn't feel powerful. But it's real. And that matters more than intensity. Then you do it again. And again. Not perfectly. Not flawlessly. But consistently enough to create momentum. Slowly, Your days begin to change. You start building routines. You wake up with intention. You create structure where there was once chaos. Same time, same actions, every day.
No negotiation.
At this stage, discipline still feels uncomfortable. It still requires effort. But now, you're no longer starting from zero. You're building something. And with that comes sacrifice. You begin to say no to things you used to say yes to. Distractions lose their appeal. Comfort becomes less important than progress. You give up easy pleasures for long-term results. And that's not easy, because part of you still wants the old life, the easier life, the one without pressure, without responsibility, without structure. But you start to understand something important. That version of you is the reason you were stuck. So you let it go. Not all at once, but piece by piece, decision by decision. And as you do, something deeper begins to shift. Discipline is no longer just an action. It starts becoming part of your identity. You're no longer someone trying to be disciplined. You're someone who follows through. That changes everything. Because when identity shifts, behavior becomes automatic. You don't debate with yourself as much. You don't rely on motivation. You simply act, because that's who you are now. There's a quiet confidence that starts to build. Not loud, not arrogant, just steady, controlled. You don't feel the need to explain your actions. You don't need validation. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You just execute, day after day. And with that consistency comes control. You begin to control your time instead of wasting it. You control your actions instead of reacting to impulses. You control your direction instead of drifting without purpose. And for the first time, your life starts moving in a clear direction. Not perfectly, not instantly, but consistently. And that's where something unexpected happens. You start feeling a sense of freedom. Not the kind of freedom most people chase, the freedom to do whatever you feel like doing, but a deeper, more powerful kind. The freedom from chaos. The freedom from excuses. The freedom from inconsistency. The freedom from being controlled by your own impulses. You realize that discipline was never the thing restricting you. It was the thing holding everything together. It gave you structure when your life had none. It gave you clarity when your mind was noisy. It gave you strength when you felt weak. And most importantly, it gave you control. And once you experience that level of control, you understand something most people never fully realize. Discipline is not something you use temporarily. It's something you become. Because without it, everything falls apart. But with it, everything starts to align. Your actions match your goals. Your time reflects your priorities. Your life becomes intentional. And once you reach that point, going back is no longer an option. Because now you've seen the difference. You've felt the contrast. You've experienced what it's like to move forward with clarity instead of confusion. And that changes you. Permanently.